Life's too short to exercise. I'm just gonna be honest. There are so many better things to do than exercise.
If you work out strictly for appearance-based reasons, you are fatphobic. Woke culture wants to convince you that there is no need to work out. They will say things like, you don't need to work out, it's a waste of your precious time. Instead, go watch some Netflix. Instead of accepting this as our new reality, we Spartans rise. We do not accept weakness of this kind. We will strive towards greatness and we will sculpt our bodies like we are made out of stone. Today I want to share with you a personal story, one that I know many of you can relate to, a story of mistakes, failures and lessons learned, a story of my journey in the gym and the mistakes I made. When I first started working out, I was full of excitement and motivation. I was determined to build muscle, lose weight and feel great. But like many of you, I quickly learned that the road to a great body is not always easy. And unfortunately, I made a lot of mistakes along the way. I spent years doing the wrong exercises, eating the wrong foods and following the wrong advice. I wasted precious time and energy. But I didn't give up. I realized that if I wanted to achieve my goals, I had to learn from my mistakes. I had to educate myself, change my approach and be patient, and that's exactly what I did. Through trial and error, I discovered what worked and what didn't. I learned how to train smarter, not harder. And I learned how to fuel my body with the right nutrients. So today I want to share with you all the mistakes I made, the lessons I learned and the tips I wish I knew before I first started. My goal is to help you avoid the same pitfalls and achieve your fitness goals faster and more effectively. Are you ready to join me on this journey? So when I started going to the gym, I made a lot of mistakes, and not only in the first year. I have been going to the gym for 9 years now, and along this way I have made a lot of mistakes. So today I'm going to be talking about the biggest mistakes that I made, and I hope you can prevent these mistakes. The first one is I ate the wrong foods. So I basically ate a lot of wrong foods that I shouldn't have been eating. And so a lot of the times, one of my best friends is actually my nephew, and we hang out a lot. We used to, hang out all night, gaming and watching movies till 4 in the morning. And what we would do, we would go to the supermarket and we would spend 50 euros on all kinds of snacks like chips, like these candy bars, and we would eat like crazy, like all night long until we were stuffed. I guarantee you, we would have been eating like 10,000 calories. I didn't calculate it or anything like that, but it was a lot, and it was very, very bad. And I'm sure this was impacting my fitness journey as well. At the time I thought it wasn't, but of course, because do you really think your body can actually use these nutrients to build any muscle? Like basically when you have like a chocolate bar or anything, these are just a bunch of chemicals mixed together. Like, do you really think, for example, if you eat like 2,500 calories for a whole day, and instead of just eating like natural food, like healthy foods for 2,500 calories, you would be eating like 2,500 calories on chocolate bars this day. This was basically our day back then. Do you really think my body would actually grow with 2,500 calories on chocolate bars? Of course not. So it's very... I didn't realize that these foods were actually not foods that made my muscles grow. And they all have empty calories, basically, without any nutrients. And you have to treat these candy bars and stuff like this, chocolate, McDonald's and stuff. You have to treat it like you're drinking alcohol. It's basically a toxin. So for example, when you drink alcohol, your body has to build off this alcohol. It has to process it, and it takes a lot of time. And in this process, your body is not able to make any muscles. Your body first has to work on these toxins before it can actually work on building any muscles. So I think it's like the same. It's like I didn't do any like proper scientific research or anything. This is just bro science. So I think your body first needs to work on getting these toxins like chocolate and stuff and a lot of sugar out of your system before it can actually like properly build up your muscles. And I'm probably wrong here, but that's how I like to see it. The second one is I wasn't training hard enough. The most important thing I wasn't actually training to failure. So I would like bench press 80 kilos and I would do it 10 times. And over the course of 6 months, I would do it like 10 times. And I wouldn't increase my weight, I wouldn't like increase my reps, I would just do 10 times. And I thought, and I did this with all my exercises, and I thought, okay, I'm getting stronger. When I just lift the same weights, I will get strong, I will get big. But no, there is no need. When you look at the science, there's literally like there is no need for your muscles to grow if you just lift the same weight over and over again. If you decide to actually step it up a notch and decide like, no, I'm gonna, today I'm not doing 10 reps, but today I'm doing 12 reps. It is hard for your body to adapt, and that's why your body is making more muscles, because it needs to be able to press these 12 reps, right? So it's very important to actually train to failure. So many people are not training hard enough, and I was one of them. You should actually like train until you can't no more. For example, when you do like the bench press, you should be when it is your last rep, you should like do everything you can to actually lift this weight. And if you feel like, okay, you can do one more, then you just do one more until you actually fail, until there's actually a moment when you're like, fuck, this bar, I can't push it up anymore. I use all my strength, but I can't push it up. And of course, when you bench press like this, you should have a spotter. So it's really, really important to keep pushing yourself as hard as you can in the gym to make progress. You should progressively overload your exercises every day when you go to the gym. And what do I mean by this? Progressively overload is the process when you actually for example, the first week you did 50 kilo and you did like 10 reps. Progressively overload means that you do the second week you do 11 or you do 12 reps. So you keep challenging your muscles. That is progressive overload. So you should have new records every time you go to the gym. So how can you do this? So what I really like to do is, for example, I will have this weight 50 kilograms and I will lift this weight 10 times the first week. The second week I will make sure I lift this weight at least 11 times or 12. The third week I will go 12 or 13 times until I reach around 15 times. Then I'm like, I will increase the weight now. So I will not take 50 kilograms, I will take 60 kilograms. And this is a very nice system. So you can have a rep range from around 10 to 15 times, sometimes even 20. Don't go, so your perfect rep range is from around 10 to 20. So when you use this system, you can actually progressively overload it very, very good, and it is very important to do. The third one is I had no system. So I wasn't tracking my progress or anything. I wasn't tracking my records, which I had. I wasn't tracking my weight. I had no goals. I was just like, let me go to the gym. Let me get a good body, without like specifying what a good body actually is. And the problem with this was that I didn't know if I was actually making progress or not. So, for example, what I do now is I have this Google Sheet. This is like it's like Excel, and I keep track of all my records. So I know, whoa, last week I did this. So this week I need to step it up a notch and I need to do this. So it is very important, and also with diet. And what I do is I weigh myself every day. So till now in April, my goal is to cut. So I weigh around 80 kilograms now, and I want to weigh like 75. So I know what my goals are. So I weigh myself every day, so I know that I keep the right process. Right? And if I see that I start to increase in weight in a week, then I need to make sure I change my diet a bit. Okay, the fourth reason I didn't build enough muscle was that I didn't do any research whatsoever on food, on the right fitness exercises in the beginning. So I had no idea what to actually do, and it was mostly because I was just lazy. I was just, let me do this exercise. Let me just eat whatever I want because I don't feel like actually looking at a diet. And I didn't realize that the diet was actually 70% of all the effort. Like, it's 30% exercise, 70% diet, and that's like fitness, right? So I was like forgetting 70% of my whole thing, and I didn't know anything basically. And part of that was because I didn't actually know where to look. And today it's very, very easy for you. You can just like look at some YouTube videos, follow a YouTuber, and like basically if you follow this YouTuber, you get all the right information you need to start like actually gaining some muscle, right? So I am certain that if you like follow this channel, I will be able to give you all the right information to actually build a good physique. And the fifth reason I didn't build any muscles was I didn't have proper diet. Like I told you, I was just eating whatever I felt like. I had this mentality of well, my mother is just, I'm eating healthy, so why would I bother? You know, I'm eating healthy. And the problem with that is, so like I told you in the beginning, I wasn't always eating healthy. Like I had these like days where I would eat 5,000 calories on all kinds of snacks, and I would. The main problem with not having a proper diet is that you are not in track of your calorie maintenance level, and this is basically the level of calories you need to stay at the same level of weight. So if you decide you want to bulk up, you want to gain some muscle, you need to be in a caloric surplus. So you have this maintenance level. You need to make sure you're above this maintenance level, so you will actually gain some weight. When you're under this maintenance level, you will lose weight. So you will lose fat, sometimes a bit muscle. So this is very, very important to actually know what your maintenance level is. And then there are a few ways you can actually calculate it. There are a lot of you can just search online, what is my caloric maintenance level, and you can just fill in your weight, your level of exercise, and they will calculate it for you. So so how can you calculate this? This is when you are eating foods, right? So the problem I always had is that if you wanted to calculate the amount of calories you eat in a day, and for me that at the moment it's 2500. The problem with that was that I had to manually calculate all these different calories in these apps. And so one of the important things about like knowing if you're above this maintenance level or under this maintenance level is actually knowing how much calories you take in a day. So you need to be calculating this, and you can do it with some kind of app like MyFitnessPal, or you can just, when you have like a proper diet plan, you actually set the right foods which to eat, and then you actually know, okay, if I eat this, what's on my diet plan, I'm eating the right amount of calories I want. So what I always do is I have my own diet plan where there's actually a lot of different foods, and if I just stick to this plan, then I have the right amount of calories. And the problem with a lot of diet plans is that you cannot eat anything else, and you don't have any freedom whatsoever. With this diet plan, I actually have the freedom to choose which foods I do want. So, for example, do I want to eat chicken, rice and broccoli, or do I want to eat some salmon, spaghetti, I don't know, and some mushrooms, for example, like this. Whatever I feel like, in these quantities. So remember, whether you have been going to the gym for years or you're just starting out with your journey, it's not always about training harder. Sometimes you need to search for the right guidance and then put it into action. See you in the next one.